if you don't have funding, if you may not get your tenure at university, or if you already have it, you might lose your funding, might dry up, you might lose your lab. I mean, there's a lot at risk for being just a sscientist who's going to go out against these people who are
This is not just theoretical. It has actually happened. Like after I wrote the Great Barrington Declaration, or I co-wrote the Great Barrington Declaration, I've got a lot of the people that signed it. Several of them have been fired from their jobs.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the NIAID, the National Institute of Allergy Infectious Disease, led by Dr. Fauci, is responsible for funding a very large fraction of the scientific work that goes on around infectious disease. So, infectious disease specialists, allergy, sort of immunologists, they all depend on the NIAID for their funding. You have to be not human to like think about that. Am I really going to like contradict Dr. Fauci in public when my entire lab depends on being able to get these NIAID? Now, in principle, there's supposed to be some firewall, right? So like there's an independent scientific review. I sat on scientific reviews, not for NIAID, but for National Institute of Aging, similar process. But it's, the head of the agency actually has quite a bit of power over what gets funded and what doesn't get funded. So I think that there is some, like, in a sense, like we're used to thinking about pharmaceutical funding as a conflict of interest. In a sense, funding by the NIAID in this context of this pandemic have been a conflict of interest, as has funding by the Gates Foundation, which has funded a ton of work of epidemiologists, groups that we normally think of as outside of the realm of, like, if you get funding from them, you create a conflict of interest, like the NIH. I think in the context of this pandemic has actually been a conflict of interest.